everybody, and welcome to week 10 of class. This week we are going to continue our discussion that we began last week on the causes of the World War II, and we are now going to look at World War II. Now, for those of you who are really into military history and strategies, my lecture this week is not going to be focusing on the battles that much. And so, you'll want to go through your textbook to read through some of the more significant battles of World War II. Rather, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be focusing on the American home front and the way that the war had an impact upon shaping the United States on the home front. Indeed, a number of people groups were affected by World War II. Chief among them would have been African Americans, women, Hispanics, and as we will see next week, Japanese Americans. Both negatively and positively, the war had an impact on these groups of people. And as you will see, some gains were made for certain groups of people, particularly for women. Even today, we still have the very iconic Rosie the Riveter, who was a part of that period. And then for other groups of people, such as Hispanics and Japanese Americans, the time of World War II was not a pleasant one. And so we want to sort of assess how the war had an impact upon the United States, not only with respects to people, but also within the economy and the way in which it played into patriotism and rationing and food banking and all sorts of different things. Okay, we will briefly mention some of the more concrete and significant battles of World War II, but in the end, as a social and cultural historian, I'm far more concerned about the way the war affected people, because in the end, of course, we win the war. The Allies win against the Axis power. So with that in mind, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And there's also going to be an opportunity to look at some cartoons this week. Walt Disney and Warner Brothers, among others, created a host of World War II propaganda that I think is rather interesting to look at. These would be considered primary sources. So hopefully we'll have a fun time assessing these cartoons. So other than that, that's pretty much what we've got going on this week. There are no major assignments that you're going to have to be turning in anytime soon. Of course, the next one would be your second PowerPoint assignment, but that's still some time away. So if you have questions or concerns, as always, contact me. Otherwise, as always, go in peace, be warm and filled. May the force be with you, live long and prosper, and may the odds forever be in your favor. Have a blessed week, guys.